Welcome, everyone to the EBM Scholars. Today we have a special guest, and we are going to talk about something a little bit different. We are talking about education opportunities, and this is a person who is a Fulbright scholar, and we will talk about what is a Fulbright. She's here in America right now, and she has a lot also to share, some American experience being here for the first time. And we'll be able to have questions live here, and she can be able to share. So welcome, Adria, to the EBM Scholars.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so the first thing, can you introduce yourself, where you are from, and where are you right now?
Okay, well, my names are Adria Matemu, and I'm from Tanzania, East Africa. Well, currently I'm in Kansas, but some few weeks ago I was in Oregon, where I got a position there as a Swahili teaching assistant for the first year classes. So yeah, under the Fulbright scholar, by the way. So basically, professionally, I'm a teacher.
Okay, that's very good to hear. One of the difference, there is a similarity. Myself, I came to the United States through the same program, Fulbright. And my son, my first child, his name is Fulbright. It's Benedict Fulbright.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. And we'll talk about a lot of culture, teaching, and the life in general. People do not know when we say Fulbright. What is Fulbright, and what are you doing under the current assignment?
Okay, that's a very good question. Under the current assignment, my responsibility basically is to assist my professor, or in the other name we call them our supervisors, academic supervisors, to perform different activities in the classroom. By the way, as a teacher assistant in the University of Oregon, my main job is to lead the discussions in the class and to grade assignments, to just work as a shadow within the class and help my supervisor in undertaking different activities. And not only that, but there are different activities that I also do under the ISSP program, which is available in the University of Oregon. This basically it wants us to share our culture here in the America. And we normally do different presentation. We go to elementary schools or middle schools to showcase what we have in our country, because people in America, they really want to hear from us. They really want to know what kind of people are we, our culture, what is our tradition, our language, so many other things. So that is what I'm doing as a Fulbright here in America.
That's very good to share to talk. One of the bigger difference between Tanzania or in Africa and in America is how we name the teachers who are teaching at the university level. In Africa, we have categories: tutorial assistant, teaching assistant, assistant lecturer, senior lecturer, associate professor, full professor. But here, everybody is a professor. So when you introduce yourself, when they hear, oh, I'm assisting. Introduce yourself. Even up to now, I say, I'm a former professor of Swahili culture University. You have to use your paper well.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So you came here was last year.
Yeah, I came last year.
The first thing I wanted to ask you, which you can share to other people, when I know when you do the application and interview, you are excited, but you talk to us first thing about the visa interview. How was the interview for your situation? Plus, your visa interview was already during the time of pandemic different from previous times. So can you share with us the visa interview during the pandemic time? How was it for you?
Frankly speaking, I remember that scenario in which I was supposed to go for my interview for visa. But frankly speaking, it wasn't hard and it wasn't complicated since the program is under the US embassy. And so everything was like as simple as that. I just went there, I gave them my passport and other forms that I was supposed to give. And they just asked me normal question like, what's your name? Where are you going? For what purpose? And I told everything that I'm going to do this and that. And they just told me that you can come this day to take your visa. So it was just like that. It wasn't hard.
It was a
And I
formality.
didn't face any kind of challenge. Yeah.
And what let's kind of simply say like, okay, the interview of the program itself. How was the interview of the program itself?
Wow. The interview of the program was very competitive. I remember we were more like almost 50 people who were there for the first interview, which was oral. And there are different questions that we were asked, and questions they were different according to person. Maybe I can say the questions were not the same. Okay. And I was afraid, like I didn't have that that belief that maybe I'm going to pass everything I was doing. Like I was trying, maybe I'll pass, or maybe, but I wasn't sure 100% that I'm going to pass this. So at the end of the day, we get the emails that we were selected for the another interview and taking the test, which was TOEFL. This was the first time that I take my TOEFL exam. At first, I thought that it was just a normal exam like other English tests that I used to do. But oh my God, it was awesome because oh my God, you cannot study for like within a month and go and take that test, or even 2 months, or even 3 months. That cannot be enough because oh my God, you have to test yourself in different categories: reading, writing, listening. And it was super difficult, by the way. But I'm thanking God I passed it as well. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a little bit different because nowadays, in my opinion, it's still very competitive. I don't want to lower it down, but nowadays is easier than our time.
Really?
Our time, number one, it was 1 hour interview. Nowadays is like 15 minutes, whatever kind of interview.
The oral interview?
Yeah, I mean the interview for the Fulbright was full 1 hour. So 15 minutes teach on the camera, and then after that you go on the for 45 minutes on the test. Yeah, and we are applicants. We are more than 300. They interviewed over 30 people for 2 days, and finally, but for me, I always said if they want one person, that person is me. So it was for me, it was the dream to come to America. So that's why.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are so confident.
Yeah. So I have another question I want to ask you. And this question is about the feeling. What was the feeling you had once you go to the you know for sure that I have my passport with a visa stamp on the screen, I mean on my passport? What did you do?
There were a lot of things that I was thinking, by the way. The things that when I arrived to America that I planned to do, and the things that I arranged back home. I was very excited, by the way, since it was my first time coming to America. And wow, it was like I don't know even how to explain it, but it was so nice. It was so nice. And I really didn't tell anyone back home that I'm going. I came to tell them at the last week that I mentioned that I have my visa already. That's where I can tell them. And they were surprised, like, really? So it was as fast as that, I can say, but it was so nice. The feelings was very, very wonderful.
Okay. Where did you put your passport after having the visa?
My passport was in my pouch, was in my handbag.
For me, like when I had that, I mean, I say better to stab me with the knife, but don't destroy my passport because it has already visa, ready to go, waiting. Yeah. Okay. So now you are coming to America. You fly. Was it your first time to travel outside of the country?
Exactly. Yeah.
How was the experience flying? Which port of entry did you go through?
I remember I go through Qatar. So
Qatar. Okay.
yeah. So I had several flights. I from Tanzania, I just dropped Qatar. Qatar, I took another airport to Los Angeles, to LA. From there, I went to Seattle, Washington, and then I just take the last flight to Oregon. So I took almost 4 flights.
And because of the pandemic, you don't do the orientation. I mean, within the US.
Yeah, I didn't do any orientation. Yeah.
Okay, for us it was different. You have to come first of all, like 10 days before you are going to your school to a different university. So, for instance, I flew to Stanford in San Francisco for 10 days, then go to.
So your host university?
Yeah, I went to Stanford first. Then from there, I went to my university, which was Marshall University, West Virginia. There are some questions I know that people are asking here about Fulbright. We'll be going through those kind of questions in a minute, but I want to just some background before we start hitting the specific questions. So you can go ahead and continue asking questions. Today, we want to ask more questions about education rather than green card lottery, so people can be able to focus on that particular angle.
Okay.
So, what was the first thing which you knew about America, excited about America, maybe watching the movie or talking to people, or this is what, and once you arrive in America, was a completely different ball game?
Oh, by the way, the first thing that people used to tell me before I came here is like American people are too self-centered. They're individualist people, like they really don't care about strangers, and so you have to just mind your own business and watch what you are saying. Like be careful of what you act and in front of them, and a lot of things, by the way, I was told. And to some extent, it wasn't, I felt like these people are totally like selfish. That was my imagination when I was told those kind of things. But I found it is different because they do care. They do care because I was able to meet with some people and I had friends, but they really want to have time for themselves sometimes. And another thing, I remember when I was traveling, I tend to use public buses, yeah. And every time when people were dropping, were reach their stops, it's like, thank you, driver, thank you, thank you. That was very strange to me. Like back home, when I drop, I just drop and go back to, go ahead with my activities. But here, everyone you have to say thank you, thank you. And I was like, okay. Now I was wondering how much driver is tired of responding to those things. But it is the culture, by the way. It is the culture, and it might differ from one state to another. I was in Oregon, maybe it might differ to another state. So I'm really not sure. So I was just learning, but it was a good thing. And another thing, when I was passing in the street, people are greeting you even if they don't know you. You see, but when I refer that experience back to Tanzania, you might pass and people don't really greet each other. If a person greets you, that means he wants to ask something or they want to be friends. They want you to be friends and all that. But here, people can greet you. If I greet you, doesn't mean that I want to be your friend. So it's like, okay, I was responding like, hi, very friendly. And later on, you can meet the same person. It's like, what? Wait, what do you say? So it's like, okay. It is really different culture, but it was amazing.
Yeah. What are we're talking about culture. What are the things you wish you could know that those things you could know and it could make your life easier or better, you came to know in a hard way? Let me give you an example. Let's say, for instance, someone might not knowing, I'm giving example. Let's say you are a teacher, hearing to a student, I'm giving example, in Africa, even at the university, that's normal sometimes. Here it's not normal. So there are certain things maybe you didn't know, you wish you could know earlier. I mean, whether it would be in teaching, whether it would be the normal American life, whether it would be like even just like the apartment concept, or just like using of the online purchasing, whatever it is. What are the things you could know before your life could be easier than expected?
Frankly speaking, I can say maybe most of the things I was already like guided. I had good guidance from the former Fulbrighters who were here, and they really tried their best to share the experience with me, and I took it and I came with it here. And well, I just passed in a smooth way, I can say. But the things that I really try to cope is like when we're in the class, in Tanzania, we really respect our teachers, our instructors. And even if the term is over, you have to wait until the teacher finish everything. So you're not supposed to like say, teacher, the term is over. You cannot say that. But here it was really strange. The term is over, and I had one student telling the instructor, the professor, you see that, excuse me, somebody, time is over, just straight like that. And it was so amazing and surprised, like how can a student tell the teacher something like that? He knows that the time is over, but there's something maybe like he wants to finish up, and they really don't have patience. So it's like they really they're straight with what they know is right. I can say they don't have that fear of a teacher or instructor or professor or whatever, as we do in Tanzania.
That's a very good way to put it forward. Yeah. Another question is, if another person comes to the United States, either through education or through any other way to come to America, what advice of things you want to let the person know? Like, okay, if you come here, pay attention on 1, 2, 3, 4, and avoid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are the things can you advise someone?
Okay, the things that I can advise, by the way, is first is the issue of time. If you have an appointment or a class or whatever with somebody, or you have to attend something, you need to be there on time. That is the first thing, because you think that it's really a noise, and I have learned to be on time. I wasn't, frankly speaking, I wasn't at all. But here I came to know that time is really precious thing. And another thing is when they come here, they need to be themselves. Like, don't try to do basing on what other people are doing, but just be you, do you, and just stick in your line. Okay. And another thing is interaction. Yeah, people really like to learn from us, and the things that we show is like we represent our nation. I'm here as Adria, but everything I'm doing, it represents Tanzanians. You see, so that is another thing. So we have to be very careful, respect everyone, make interaction, be humble, respect. That's it, I think. And hardworking too, by the way. We need to work hard. Yep.
Yeah, those are very good tips, because sometimes in the African mind, sometimes the concept of time, are you coming at 4? Yeah, I'll come at 4. But 4 can be 4:30, can be 5, can be something else.
Yeah.
The funny part is this one. Sometimes you can have the African party, you say the party at 4, people still come late because we know we are all African. But if it's a party with the Americans, you are always also to the time zone of others.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So for this full year you have been here, what the way forward do you plan? Do you plan like how you see yourself that you want to continue to be in America, or you miss a lot of ugali and rice and pilau and everything in Tanzania? What do you envision yourself? Like the knowledge you got, if you go back to Tanzania, I'm giving an example. Do you think it has given you another boost of your life to do something better?
Well, I'm youth still, and I have a lot of goals in my life, but I really like the little knowledge that I got here in America to go and share with my fellow teachers and students and my family as well in Tanzania, because I found some things are very useful in my life. Like I came to learn a lot of games, like football games, dodgeball. These were very entertaining, and I learned it from Americans themselves. So apart from that, there's the issue of teaching practices here in America. There's something quite different from my home country. So I really like to share something, though I have some plans like to come back and go for studies. I really want to take my MA here, and that's my plan. And well, I'm thinking God that I got an admission, so I'm just waiting for the scholarship decisions, and that one can tell and can tell me if I'll come back here or not. But yeah, those two things are very important.
Yeah, those are very good goals. Usually I tell people, no matter what, when you come here, especially if you come for studies or any type of education program, just enjoy, learn a lot, and don't force it to continue to be here.
Yeah, sure.
Just in case, let's say you apply for scholarship, you didn't get it, it's not the end of the world. You can go because you have been here legally. You have done everything a good way. If you go out of the country, if you want to come again, even if to visit, you have created a process to have that visa. You didn't overstay. You didn't do anything bad. So those are the things. If you first have to overstay, sometimes you are delaying your certain times in your life on how you can be able to be successful here in America.
Yeah, that's a very good advice, by the way. And I really like to be clean and follow the rules that I was given by the IIE. And I didn't even want to take their grace periods because I came to find that my DS 2019, the date was different from the contract, you see. I was supposed to go back in Tanzania at June around 16th. But my DS 2019, they wrote I have to go back in 4th of June. So I had to email my advisor very quickly that how is it going to be, and it's because I don't want to use any time. I don't want to overstay. I want to be clean, and next time if it happens that I want to come back here, I won't have any kind of things
record.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Okay, that is a very good plan, because in the end, if you're educated, there are so many opportunities you can come across than just going to destroy everything just because you're already here. You can go out and you can come back.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so there are a few questions people are asking. You can answer, and because I know about Fulbright, I can be able to also respond to some of this one. Okay, so let me start with the Ahmed Mohammed is asking, Adria, can I know how the application of this Fulbright program work?
Okay, I hope he's in Tanzania. Well, for Tanzania, I've tried to share with some of people that I knew. Okay. Okay, then I can answer this maybe with reference to my country, because there is a website of US embassy in every country, and so all the information are found there, how to apply, the documents that you need to submit, because you need to write essays, you have to prepare for those things. So they can write FLTA, then maybe it can come up in the internet. Yeah, but basically in the US Embassy website.
Yes, I can add some few things. So each country has a Fulbright program.
Yeah.
Each country. So what you need to do, you go to the US Embassy in your country, open the website to the US Embassy. Once you open the US Embassy website, there is a place called Education and Culture. Click that Education and Culture, you'll find education opportunities there. So within Fulbright, there are so many Fulbright. Adria and myself, we came through what we call FLTA, Foreign Language Teaching Assistantship Program. So if you're from Oman, my roommate was from Oman, was teaching Arabic. If you are from Nigeria, you teach Nigerian languages. I had people from Nigeria. If you're from Somalia, you teach Somali language. If you are from Cameroon, you teach your languages. So people come from all over the world, Africa, Asia, Latin America, whatever, China, whatever. You come to America and teach your language and culture for 1 year under the what you call Fulbright Foreign Language Teaching Assistantship Program. For those who want masters and PhD, they have another Fulbright. It's called JSD, Junior Staff Development. Another thing, there is another program is called the Humphrey Program. Then there is Mandela Fellowship. So there are so many programs, and each country has a different deadline.
Yeah.
Because I know someone was asking when will the application for Fulbright open? Each country is different. For instance, in Tanzania, the deadline was March 31st for both junior staff development for master's and PhD, and also for those who are applying for this the language teaching program. Yeah. So it depends on which country you are. You can be able to do that one. Okay. Let me find another question. Okay. The question from Komba. Senesie I think he's in Sierra Leone, I think, if not mistaken. There are so many differences between African American lifestyle, culture, and education as well. I hope we will learn more from our professor today.
Oh my God. Thank you. I'm not a professor, but I hope one day I'll become a professor. Amen.
Barack Obama was teaching at the university, was a professor. That's the opportunity. I taught at the university. As long as you teach at the university, a university teacher is a professor, despite whether you have PhD, whether you have bachelor degree. So on your resume, don't just say, I taught at the university as an assistant. No, I was a professor at this university.
Okay, thank you, Komba.
For those who do not know, she was at the Oregon University in the beautiful state of Oregon. It's a very, very big university.
It is green. We call ourselves ducks. That is our mascot.
Yeah, Oregon, Washington, you have a lot of rain compared to many states, especially many states in the western part, because California, Nevada, whatever is more desert kind, more if go Arizona's desert life, but in Oregon, in Washington, you have beautiful rain, trees, green. Okay, someone was asking about another question about Berea. EBM, I also watched your presentation on the Berea scholarship. When will the application start? Application starts in August, and the deadline is end of November for bachelor's degree for Berea College. Okay. Okay. What other question do we have here? Okay. Frederick, you need to ask your question. I don't see your question. I'm trying to look here on your question. I don't see your question.
Okay.
Yeah, you can ask the question there. Can I put here? We can be able to answer it. If by mistake I've skipped your question, I'm so sorry. Please put your question here. And I see on your profile you have CR7, the best player on the planet. what are the requirements for the application, for your application, specifically Fulbright FLTA for Tanzania, if you can talk about it?
Okay, for FLTA, the application wanted me to submit objective essays. I remember one of them was about writing the teaching methodology, something like that, and about culture. How am I going to share my culture here in America? And other requirements, you need to submit a resume. We call them CV in Tanzania, but both are just the same. And also certificates, education, academic certificates. That's what I was supposed to submit. And another thing is reference letters. Yeah, so you need to have some people who can recommend you in your application. This can either be the people that you're working with or the people that have been teaching you. So to my case, I used my lecturer and I also used my boss, my director. So those are the people that I recommend because they know about my abilities, they know about my strength. And so, yeah, they're the one who were there for me.
Another question on that. Do you need to have PhD? Do you need to have high school? What is the education requirement?
If a person wants to have a PhD?
No, like in order to apply for the Fulbright FLTA, they want to come to teach language and culture. What education or minimum required?
In Tanzania, they take undergraduates, those who have finished their degree. Yep, and they need to be language teachers, by the way. They need to be language teachers. They need to be teachers, yeah.
Yeah, I posted here that go to the US Embassy in your country, like the website. Also, if you want to, I mean, because of the COVID, but usually they have library in every place where they have education. You can go and ask any question you want.
Yeah.
And it's education in the culture section, and you will be able to search education opportunities. You will see Fulbright program. Also, you'll be able to see other programs, educational programs. And I made a video about opportunities which are available. And I'll go to another video like that one and go to almost see like various US embassies around the world and to show how can we be able to see those opportunities.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. When you say a question is there, let me try to find the question. Okay, I'm trying. Okay, I will answer your question, but I will prefer not to answer a lot of green card. I will answer education, but I will answer just few of green card. I'm in Russia, but I played the VLOTA 2022 for my Russian girl. If she win, can we get married and get the visa together? But I don't have any document in Russia. Please answer my question. If any person wins the DV lottery and you want to get married, you can get married. But you have to get the documents to prove that you get married. Then you can process together and be able to get married. If you win, you must have the documents. If you, for instance, in the end, you have to have birth certificate. In the end, you cannot. When the Kentucky ask you for the documentation, like birth certificate, passport, police clearance, you must have. Without those documents, they don't give you the visa. So is either you ask your relative to send those documents if you don't have those documents, or you travel to your country and get those documents. So the point is, if you win the DV lottery, you are allowed to get married in the process. The only thing you have to have the marriage certificate, which is a government provided. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let me find another question.
Okay.
Okay. Justin and Jay, greetings everyone. I'm so happy to be here today. First time to catch up with the live stream, Mr. EBM. Thank you very much for everything. Esther from Uganda, currently in South Africa. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah. One of the ways here of education, of teaching, is different. When we are in Africa, we usually say our education is very, very tough. But for me being here in America and studying in America, education in Africa is not tough, but the professors are the one who are tough, making difficult, making sure that you cannot pass. But here, if you study, you get good grades and all other good things, whatever. So for you, you had the opportunity to study some of the courses, but at the same time, teaching. What was you well as a student, but at the same time, you as someone who is teaching? What was the experience and being from having the mindset of Africa that a teacher, in order to be a critical teacher, you have to make everything hard? How was it for you?
Well, on the other hand, as a student here in America, I had a very wonderful time with my teachers and students as well, because what I have learned is that professors here are there to support you, to help you as a student, and to make sure that you achieve your goals and be able to attain good grades. But the big difference, of course, I also attained my degree in Tanzania, and it was really tough because sometimes you might find that you present the right idea as you learned in the lecture, but things turn out to be like different. You are being challenged and you can attain bad marks. So it's really different. It's really different. Teachers here are not here for criticizing you. And even the way they criticize is like you feel that they're not too much like negative, but they criticize you in a positive way and in a way that makes you understand where was the problem and where you need to change. So it's like that. I really appreciate, and as a teacher also I have learned here on how I need when I go back to Tanzania on how I can handle my students well, because the aim is to help the students and not to criticize them. You see, and you can criticize the person in a way that they'll feel normal and they won't feel ashamed. You see, so that's the difference.
And what about the culture of reading books?
Oh, wow. Here, the culture of reading books is very high because you have to read different kind of books every week, different articles, and you have to come up like with a summary or come up with the idea on what you have learned, or you are told maybe like to challenge the writer on the things that he or she wrote and what is your perception on what they wrote. So they rely much on reading books, which I found it's very useful because the more you read, the more you open up your mind, the more you our cognitive ability develop. But back in Tanzania, it's like we read so as to answer, to respond to exams and all that. So that's the difference. But here I came to read a lot of books.
Okay, thank you. Frederick, I've already answered your question. I don't know if you have another question. Your question, you want to know, you have a girlfriend in Russia and you are in Russia. You helped the girlfriend to apply for the DV Lottery 2022. If she wins, what happens? You don't have the documents. If you get married, yes, I said you are allowed to get married, but you must have the documents because KCC will never schedule interview if you don't have the birth certificate. They don't schedule the interview if you don't have the passport. On the interview date, when you go there, you must go with your education certificates. You must go with your birth certificate. You must go with the police clearance record. You must go with your passport. If you don't have those documents, they don't give you green card. They cannot give the green card just, because, say I'm from this country. How will they prove if you don't have the birth certificate? So I've already answered your question. I don't know if you got it, and I've answered also through the words here on the comment that yes, you're allowed to get married, but you must have the documents. So whether just wait for the results, if the results come out, you have won, just ask your relative, whatever country you are from, to send you the documents. Or if, because it's very important, you can travel to go and get them. But without those documents, you will never be given a green card. Without the marriage certificate from the government, they don't give you, they don't care how many years you have been with your wife. The problem in Africa, if you live with someone for 5 years, you have kids, oh, this is my wife. In America, even if you live 100 years with a woman, if you didn't go to the court, to go to the government and get the marriage certificate, you are not married. Oprah is having the man, lives with the man for all these years, is just her boyfriend, girlfriend. So that's about the culture. We are talking about the culture here.
Yeah.
Here, no matter how many years you've been with someone, if you don't have the marriage certificate, you are not husband and wife. Joshua, let me find you a question. Yeah, because I'm trying, first of all, to start the question which are education related before the green card lottery questions. That's why some of the question I'm skipping. Try to ask you the question which are green card at the moment. Hi, EBM, let's say passport I used to apply for the lottery has expired. I'm having a new one. Which one will I use to fill the DS-260? You are using the new one. But when they ask you for documents, you send both the old one and the new one. Because they cannot put the passport, the visa on the expired passport. They have to put the visa on the new passport. Okay. Okay, so you say you have all the documents. So there is no problem. Just wait. If your girlfriend wins, you decide to get married, that means you get the marriage certificate, then you process without any problem. They don't care. As long as you prove that your marriage is not immigration fraud, that's the only thing. That you got married for the purpose of getting married. You say, I'm illegal here. US government, it doesn't care about your status in that particular country you are. If, let's say, you're in Russia, they don't care. For them is the police clearance record. If you're a drug dealer, that is a problem. But if you overstayed like a couple days, whatever, it might not be a big crime because that doesn't affect your behavior in America. But there are certain crimes. If you're a drug dealer, you are just doing cocaine, you are doing whatever, prostitution, those will be able to affect you. That's why if you read the questions on the DS-260, there are so many questions. And all those questions, they ask you, have you ever done this one? Do you plan to do this one? There is no question, have you ever been overstayed in other countries? They're concerned about overstaying illegally in America. If you overstayed in America, they don't give you a green card. But if you overstayed in another country, it's you and that other country. They don't care about that. Okay, they don't check your grades for the green card lottery. They just look about education, just high school and above, but that's all. Okay, let me give you a chance to ask me questions.
Me? To ask you questions?
Yeah.
Okay, you came here in America for a very, very long time, and you've been here for quite, I don't know, I think more than 10 years, I can say.
Almost.
How was the experience back then?
So for me, it was a little bit different from the current time you are having. The time for me when I was coming to America is different from now. Why is it different? Number one, now there are so many social media.
Yeah.
Now there are so many people talking about American life or European life. You can go to YouTube and see people talk like me. Everybody is talking about their life, kind of that. People can post on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, social media. The time was coming, there was MySpace, there was High Five. Facebook was coming up.
Oh.
So there was, YouTube was still nothing like YouTube. Blog. There was no chatting like WhatsApp. There are no such things like that way. So even for me, find someone in America to ask a question, for you, I can talk to you anytime on WhatsApp. But for me, was to find someone, you have to email someone to respond to email, or you have to, any mistake, you find someone on Yahoo Messenger chat. Or 2 times if someone is using Facebook, because Facebook was new. So that was a little bit different. The time we are coming here, we didn't have information like someone who is coming now. That's number one. Number 2 is the level of development and the exposure of Western lifestyle in Africa was different from now. Back in the time, for instance, in Tanzania, when I was in Tanzania, the 5-star hotel you cannot afford. It was Kilimanjaro Hotel, Kempinski, whatever, just like 2 or 3, where you cannot even try to go there. How can you go there? That's different. So being exposed to the nice hotels, but now you can live any city in the world, any country in Africa, you can live a very more beautiful hotel compared to American hotel, and you can just go for a weekend and stay there. So that is another thing. So when you come here, you are not exposed to technology to that level because technology is not there. You go to the hotel the first time, you cannot even open the hot water and cold water. But now, if those are the normal things, cannot be a challenge for someone like you. Another thing, for instance, even like when it comes to food, nowadays, McDonald's, you can have KFC, you can have whatever, Jane Brown, whatever, KFC, all these kind of Western restaurants, fast food in Africa already. But at the time, for this entire Tanzania, there are 2 places in Dar es Salaam only which they sell hamburgers. Only 2. So I was coming to America, just the hamburger. I was seeing the picture and I had to buy 1 time just to see it and test how is it before coming to America. So even like for me, my experience for the food is different from you. For you, you can come here from day one, you can start even eating salad. For me, salad, I don't eat grass up to now. So for me, like there are so many food I don't eat. Up to now, I don't eat salad, I don't eat pizza, I don't eat macaroni and cheese. There are so many things I don't eat. Because that's ridiculous. Why? So for me, number one, like I said, I was not exposed before coming here because there are those things were not there. And I came here already, I know how to cook almost everything. So for me, it's easier to save as a Fulbright and you save money, you cook yourself. So that is another thing. But another thing for me as me, I have one weakness, I can say. I usually, anything I have to test to eat, I have to associate with something. For instance, I can give you an example. I don't eat broccoli because broccoli look like a tree. I don't eat, for instance, cauliflower because cauliflower look like a brain. Wow. I don't eat, for instance, shrimp because shrimp, when you go like farming, there are certain types of bugs. They look like shrimp. So for me, why should I eat things like those one? I don't eat those crabs, whatever, those kind of expensive things because they look like a scorpion. But they're good for your health. I know, but that's my problem. That's my mistake. When I associate something, my mind is blocking something. So because of cooking, even like the fish, I have to look like how is the face of the fish? Is it a bad, scary face or just a normal face? Yeah. So like so there are so many things like when the time we are coming was different. So for you, when you come here, transition is easier than someone coming back in my time. Because there are so many things we are different from food-wise, from just technology, from knowing what's going on compared to now. Now you can know everything. You can just, people get into the plane, going from Dar es Salaam to another city or whatever, another country. But back in the time, the first time to be in the plane, being in so, I mean, it was Swiss Air. So you just stay there, like even like sit. How do I put the seat belt? Like, you know, like they look like normal now, but back in the time, it was the first time to drink apple juice because apple juice. Yeah. Nowadays, apple juice is normal thing. Back in the day, apple juice was not there. There was only one supermarket, was Mlimani City, just brand new. was built.
And people really don't buy their foodstuffs in supermarkets in Tanzania.
Yes, and I was a university student. So what do? You just drink water. Like you have money to drink soda. Simple like that. So back in the 2007, 2008, those were some of the going on. So that's why for me, I took the responsibility, making sure any person who coming is brand new doesn't need to start going into this kind of things which are necessary. You need to come here, you are ready to take off. You don't need to come here and start figuring out how to order the food. Like we used to go with my roommate was from Oman. We were both kind of that way. We go to the restaurant, we have to find a restaurant which has pictures, the photos over there, and we order by number. So you just go like McDonald's. For instance, you go to McDonald's, you just say number 2. Mayonnaise, whatever they mention, like faster. Yes. So they put everything you want. You don't need this sort of thing, like, but now.
Yeah.
So for me, that was a little bit kind of like, if I compare how for me was coming here was it compared it to me now. But the visa process hasn't changed. It is the same kind of like when you go there, you have all the documentation. It's easier, and especially when you have a scholarship, those are the things which are easy. They don't change at the US Embassy.
That's true. But the same experience that you pass through, you can find a person in this era, they just pass through the same experience, because it matters when somebody did not expose in that kind of living life standard, like going to supermarket, eating pizza, burger. I didn't grow up in the family or in the situation where I eat pizza or burger. I just used to eat local foods. And when I came here, I found that things were very different, the taste. And for the first 3 weeks, it was really hard for me. I just used to eat bread and spaghetti and eggs. Yeah, that's it. And milk. But I tried to eat some fruits. They were not like as sweet as those at home. And one day I tried to buy sweet potatoes. Oh my God. I just threw them all of them. I couldn't even able to eat it. And even the chicken. Oh my goodness.
It
was hard.
I know how to cook, so I can cook whatever I want. So that made myself easier. So yes, you can go to the restaurant. And at the time on my first year, after going to the restaurant, before I discovered they have so many places you can go, is having the buffet. So when I knew that there are certain places you can go and do that, so I was going to those places because I know I can find food instead of ordering and then I don't eat. Better to go there and choose whatever I want, and then I can be able to do that. And it was cheaper to eat in the buffet than eating into normal restaurant.
That's true.
Yeah, let me answer some few questions here, and then we are going to other questions. Okay. Okay, second question. I also played for my girl in Germany, and I played for the developers couple. Is married couple. Can we go to Ghana and get married and get a visa? That is a big mistake. You are confusing yourself, my friend. Number one is, if you said you are married, you need to show the marriage certificate showing you got married before the day of application. And this is what I'm trying to explain to people. Don't try to trick American government. If God wants you to win, you will win. But it's starting like you find like applying one person. Okay, we are, assume, I'm giving you an example. You applied as husband and wife, you are married with that woman in Germany. And you want also, let's say that woman doesn't win, and the one in Russia is going to win. And you say, I'm going with this person. Who are you going to say? We're going to say you are married again? You cannot be married to more than one people. You see, does that mean? Just for the future, when you go to apply, you are single, apply as a single. If God wants you to win, you'll win. Each person has equal chance and the opportunity of winning. So don't complicate, like it's starting like, okay, let me ask all these women, if they win, they choose me. No, don't do that. Just apply. If you want to win, you'll win. Because you can apply, married, you don't even win, because you are just trying to trick the system over and over. There is a question from Captain Chichi, and the question says, what would you say can give you advantage in the Fulbright language and culture program?
Wow. Okay, that's a very good question. And as a Fulbright, there are a lot of advantages. One is the exposure to the teaching and learning processes here in America, because our friends are a little bit advanced, and there are so many things that as a teacher I learned, and I'm really sure when I take these tips back home, they will really help my students, because they also really want to become someone in the future, and I found them useful. So that is one. Another thing, as a Fulbright, we meet with a lot of people from all over the world. And when we meet with these people, we do share a lot of things, our culture and opportunities as well. There are so many opportunities that one can get after you become a Fulbright, whether inside your country or outside of the other country, because this is a very broad experience that it's not easy for one to get. So it's like a golden chance to my side. Yeah.
Okay. May I come to the US through teaching my country language? So what are the requirements? I already said on one of the comments, let me put here. If you go to the US Embassy in your country website, go to Education and Culture section, and you will see education opportunities. You will see Fulbright program. The teaching one, you must have a degree in teaching and in special language. That's number one. And then other requirements can come, how you respond to the questions, what volunteering activities you have done, what teaching experience you have. That is the one. If you want to come for the masters, also Fulbright have masters and a PhD. And there are other programs for leadership program. There are other programs. So there are different programs within the Fulbright or the US Embassy website. That would be the easier. Okay. Okay, EBM, the greatest man I've ever seen. I wish to meet you one day in the US very soon. Visa is loading. All the best, my friend. Yeah, we are planning to meet maybe next month with Adria.
Yeah.
We are almost 35, 40 minutes apart from one another. So we'll be able to see one another soon.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Okay, so you were asking, no, my question is about advantage that can help you to secure Fulbright. Yeah, so she was advantage, what can help you to secure Fulbright is how you got to answer those questions. And that's how I usually tell people all the time, whether you are teaching as a teacher, whether you are a student, you have to find a way to volunteer. That's number one. What do you do things outside of your normal job? Because in the end, you have to explain, you go back to your country to do better things to the community. So what things have you done to the community so far? Going to work and get the salary what you get, yes, it's good. But it's not everything, because that's the job. But prove by showing already you are doing something to your community. That also will be able to help you. Okay. One question. Have you opened another program on a Microsoft what? Either the phone is on playing the same video on YouTube. I hear myself.
I do hear you.
Okay, I don't know what's going on my end. I can hear myself like a background noise. Now it's on. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So those are the things, like especially like volunteering and what do you do in the community helps a lot. And then how do you answer your questions? Because in the end, you have to know the program, Fulbright program, among other things. Being here, you have to say you go back to your home country, what you're going to do. Even if your dream is to stay in America, my dream was to stay in America. I didn't say, oh, when I go to America, I'm going to stay there. No, I didn't say that. That is on you, inside you. You don't tell them. Because if you say that, they're not going to select you. Okay. What other question do you have for me?
Oh, okay. Another question that maybe it's about how did you attain all these opportunities like scholarships and everything that you have done after Fulbright? Because it is really hard to get scholarship. You need to take some kind of test, which is really expensive. And well, I understand that education is expensive. And if you want to win something great, you have to take risk. But it is kind of hard that to pass those kind of exams. How was the preparations?
Yeah. So when I was coming to America, for me, as you know, I came under the Fulbright program. It is 1 year program, almost to be exactly 10 months. And so I had everything planned in my head and written down on I had a notebook that in order for me to stay in America, I have to continue to get it through education. So in order to get education, obviously the TOEFL exam was already paid by the US Embassy. I paid for that one. Then I know I have to do the GRE. And then I have to apply for universities. And in order to apply for the universities, each university will cost a certain amount of money for application fee. But in America, the TOEFL exam, the results, if you apply to a university, you don't send your copy. The copy is by EPS. And then, at the same time, I don't know, it's something background noise. Okay. So at the same time, on the end, I knew I have to pay extra money, $17 for every copy of the TOEFL exam to be sent to the universities. And then for GRE, you have to pay $27 extra for each copy to be sent. And I knew in order to do that, I have to apply many universities. So for me, I didn't save the money so that I can go back to Tanzania and have an apartment. I used all my money I was saving to apply for the university. And that's how I managed to get the scholarship. So in the end, up in 25, I got 3 full scholarships.
Wow.
1 in Europe, 2 in the US. So I moved from West Virginia to California to do my master's. So when I went to do my master's, already now the game is changing. What is the next step? For me, I came here. I say, you take me from here, you put me in the grave. You're not taking me here, you're taking back me to go and live back to Tanzania. My plan was, I'm coming here. God said, go to the world, multiply, conquer the world, fulfill the world. But God didn't say, go to Kigoma in Tanzania. Wow. As long as I'm legal, I can say any place. Yeah, so for that particular case, so while I was doing my master's, I met my wife. At that time, then we dated, we got married. We got married while I was still a master's student, while I was graduate. That's where I got married. So obviously, after getting married, for me it was different at that time because there was a very big challenge into the job market. Because peak of financial crisis back in 2009, 2010, around that time. So you graduate, you don't get jobs. I was applying 100 to 300 jobs per day.
Wow.
Like you apply until they block your email. Yahoo usually, I didn't know that they block the email. They know it is a scam because you have sent so many emails in one day. I didn't know there is that limit. So I had to create emails to apply. Yeah, I didn't know that. I came to know by applying. So that was another way on how I was able to do that. And life in California was very expensive. One bedroom, we're talking about 1,500 or 1,000 maybe. That's one bedroom apartment in California.
Wow.
And then at that time, remember, I have a wife and she's pregnant.
Wow. That was tough.
It comes there. Then we talk about the culture. My in-laws said, can you come and stay in our house for free while you are still looking to get settled? Which is in a normal, reasonable way, that is a good thing. Then you come as African. How can an African man go and live with in-laws? Like your ego, your African culture comes here.
You'll be regarded as a weak person.
Yes. But in the end, the life is kicking you. Are you going to be homeless? You have to accept the help.
Yeah.
I have to go and stay with my in-laws. So I was applying for so many jobs. I have to find everything so I can get out there. So for me, the game change happened when I made a decision to join the Navy. I have to join the military because I applied so many jobs and it was difficult to get. So, and I started learning what are the benefits of joining the military. Like, okay, if you join the military, you can be able to become a US citizen right away. You can be able to get any job after that, whatever, quick. You'll be able to get VA loan. You have to do everything. So I had to lose weight, but I knew everything I want. I managed to succeed, and that is when I was able to join. So from that decision, all those things I went through, it helped me to do anything from there quicker. And whatever I want to do, as long as I know the steps and I know the resources, I can go and struggle and fight whatever it is until I was able to attain it.
Yeah, that is a very good thing. And actually, I'm learning because most of people and youth in Africa, we think that life in America is really easy. Opportunities are there just waiting for you. Life is good. There are a lot of leisure, the thing which is totally different. Because when you come here, you have to work hard. You really have to work hard. There is nothing easy. And there are no shortcuts because everything is on the line. There are rules that guides people.
Exactly.
You see, and it's totally different. Totally different.
That's like even now, let's say now I say, okay, I'm already relaxed in my life. I work as a full-time director for Africa, one organization. I do YouTube. By doing YouTube, it means I'm making almost 50 videos per month.
Wow.
A lot of videos, at least 2 videos per day.
Yeah. Wow.
Then I'm writing books. Then I have 3 kids. I have a wife.
That's a lot.
And then you need to have yourself like, okay, let me go and even a walk or do something, whatever. You must do all these sort of things within the short time you have. So in order, yes, you say, for instance, someone will say, okay, I'm giving an example. Someone will say, okay, EBM sometimes is a lucky guy because maybe he applied this job, he got it. But I applied 200 jobs to get one.
Oh my God.
Oh, for instance, let's say someone can say, okay, his YouTube is growing up. But for instance, like June last year, 1 month, I did 96 videos in 1 month. So sometimes I sleep late so that I can make videos. So there are so many things you have to be able to do. But that's why for me, like if you ask me, will you go back to live in Tanzania like my full life? No. But I will go to live in Africa for like 2, 4, 5 years. Yes, I can do that. But to live my full life in Africa, because I see my lifestyle, like internet speed, like the way I do certain things, here allows me to do this kind of things. For instance, right now, for me, I can stay inside my room in the house without going outside the door, full 2 weeks without going out, and I can accomplish everything I want from my house. And I don't need to, I haven't been outside the house. But in Africa, sometimes when I go, I might not do certain things I want, like have the speed of doing my YouTube, writing books, whatever kind of things. I can do multiple things at the same time. Still, nowadays, okay, things are going better, but infrastructure is not that great. But for me, if I go to Africa, I want to live in the rural life, the quiet, cool life, not the Dar es Salaam, Nairobi complication. I don't want traffic. I want to calm down, relax, you chill, you see your cow, you see your goat. That's the life I like in Africa. Not the one you wake up and go to the traffic for 5 hours, 2 hours, you say they do nothing. What? I'm wasting my 2 hours.
Yeah, that's the challenge. That's the challenge. Infrastructure is really a problem in our countries.
Yeah. So the rural area, when they are going to do this infrastructure, internet, good electricity, everything they do in the rural area, someone who can decide to live in the rural area, you do your agriculture, you do your animal keeping, and you live in the rural, you have very comfortable life, better than someone in urban centers. That's where the Africa will be going in a better way. That's what I hope will be able to succeed a lot. When a lot of people are moving from town to go to the rural areas, that's where we'll be having very good development.
That's great. Now, a challenging question. I just want to challenge you. As an African, you want all these good things to happen in your country, and you're here in USA. What do you do to make sure that these things are happening there, where you are all here?
That's a very good question. And to answer in a very normal way, if I didn't come to America, yes, for me, helping other people is part of me. I've been doing like blogging, doing the other things, even before coming to America. But possible I might be a politician. Maybe I could be a corrupt guy. You never know. I mean, you never know. I talk a lot. Maybe I could be a politician. I mean, that is a normal, quick job. I can be able to get it. Or maybe I could be a preacher, you give me free money. A pastor, you give me free money. You never know. So I might not know exactly if I could stay in Africa without coming with this exposure I have now with these resources, I could be of this positive to my other people. Yes, I did certain things before, like opening the blog, sharing, going to volunteer. I've done those kind of things even before coming. But would I do a lot of things right now to this kind of level if I was to stay in Africa? Possible, no. So for me, I help a lot of people in Africa by being outside. For instance, if I live in Africa, I cannot write a 400 pages book and give for free. You see, like I work all this time, but now with my internet, with all these resources, for me, I can write a book and put on the internet, and I give the free PhD book, download it for free. Go there and click and download. I have no problem because I have other source of income. I have so I don't depend on going ever door to door selling my books about scholarships and forcing people to buy or to lie to people. So giving the book, just like making a 400 pages book and give for free, I help so many people. The hours I spend nowadays, yes, there's an advantage, you can get paid by YouTube. But I've done these kind of things even before YouTube started. Like creating a blog post, sharing to people, answering people's questions. I spend all these kind of hours to help other people, especially mostly in Africa. But if I would be there and the working hours is the same morning to afternoon, I'm on my work, and I come back at home, I have to do things. Now here, when they are during the day, I'm during the night, during the day. So it helps me to do a lot of things to support a lot of people. So for me, this kind like now, I believe I do a lot. And what I'm doing, it doesn't interfere African politics. So I'm not a threat to politics. But if, let's say, I'm in my hometown, Kigoma, and I do this kind of things, I go to volunteer, I go to teach here, I go to open orphanage center, doing this kind of things, politicians, or this guy wants to become a governor, wants to become a member of parliament, they start maybe doing the juju witchcraft on you. They can find you. They know that you are doing that because you want to become a politician to take their position. But for me, what I'm doing, I give you the information, go and study. I guide you in a proper way. So I don't interfere African politics. I don't interfere. I'm not a threat to the members of parliament. I'm not a threat to the minister. I'm not a threat to anybody. I'm contributing. I'm complementing to education and the people to be in a positive way to support themselves, their families, and their communities. So for me, I see that is a very good question. I can be able to do that. And if I go, let's say, to live 5 years in Africa, I've already have other plans, what I can be able to do when I'm there, like other projects. But still, my projects will be the projects which are not to be considered to be a threat. Like I'm going to start, I was planning to start like association of writers, people from primary school to start writing books. Because writing book, we don't need to have a PhD to write a book. To write the story of your life. So those are the things I want to do that way. To create like, which I'm still working on it, to create what we call the Africa Connect kind of association of YouTubers, young YouTubers, how we can use YouTube as a tool to develop East Africa. Not just all the videos in YouTube must be comedy, music, soccer, whatever. That's most of the African YouTubers are those are fewer. I mean, they are those kinds. Very few. You can go to Odemaya, you see the good content. You can come to me, you can see very few, but people are not watching. People are watching. Say, Diamond is just going to visit his today. 1 million people.
The things that doesn't even bring any kind of impact into our lives.
So for me, I want to, like, if you are a teacher, you're a primary school teacher, you're a secondary school teacher, how do you start making online content? You are a lawyer. Yeah, every lawyer has a YouTube. A dentist has a YouTube. Give education. Someone can go there and check the content in Swahili. Like, instead of those like after school program, how many primary school teachers they can have their content online? A student can go and watch. I've asked some over 5 TV station in Tanzania. Can I be having a TV program for free? Don't pay. I'll be talking, for instance, like how about making a resume, how to prepare to apply for students, how you can go for the interview. They don't want to give you. You go and I'll do for free, but still people don't want to give that opportunity. So we still have a long way to go because people are thinking you are a threat. Maybe you want to go on this channel, you take my position. I don't care. So those are the things which I see like I can contribute a lot right now on what I'm doing. But if I live permanently in Africa, I have to find what other ways I'll also be able to influence others. Because for me, the biggest thing you have to change the education way. It has to be African-centric. Not the education we study about timber in Canada. Not education we're talking about Victoria Falls. We have to talk with the actual things. We have to talk about agriculture. And we have to do it. So there are so many things we have to figure out. Yeah. But at the moment, what I'm doing this way, I think it is helping in one way or another. For some people, they say, oh, maybe this guy is a brainwashed. He doesn't want to come to Africa. I'm in the world. I'm the citizen of the world. I'm the patriot of the world. I'm not confining myself to only Tanzania. Because at the beginning, when I started my YouTube, I was focusing Swahili YouTube just for Tanzanians. And they didn't want to watch them. So I had said, okay, let me do the English one for everyone to be able to this kind of content and support Africa as a whole.
Yeah, I really appreciate what you're doing because you really influence the youngs of people who want changes, people who wants development for themselves. And seeing is believing. When they see you are somewhere doing some things big, greater, they learn from you. And whatever you are producing, it is helpful to them. And yeah, to me as well, because as a Fulbright, I just learned some stuff from you. I didn't know you. I just used to hear somebody Makolilo, and well, you are really a great person, and I really appreciate what you're doing is good and great to the people, not only in Tanzania, but in Africa and other parts of the world. Yeah, by sharing experience, you bring something out.
So, for instance, one of the things I can give you an example, I want to show you. I want to show you quick. I started the culture of making on birthdays, on special celebration. I write letters to my kids, and those letters I turn them to be a book. So, for instance, these are some of the books.
Wow.
for Benedict, book for Claire, and the book for Faustina.
Wow.
So I can give an example. So there is one lady, my friend. So I explained to her. So she started also doing the same thing. She wrote this book.
Wow. That's Swahili.
Just writing how you love your child, normal letter. So these are the things like now she has 3 books. 3 different books. One about this one, another one is about her and meeting her husband, whatever their love life. But that's how it is. So sometimes that's what I mean. Like, you need to write a book. You don't need to have a PhD to write a book. You don't need to wait until you become a president and die without even having a book. Just write a book. And so for me, my influence will be like this. Like, okay, you can create this book, and this book you can find it Amazon. They print it for free. You can upload your book. You do everything for free on Amazon. But those are the resources. For me, I can access all these resources. I can give them there. So these are the things usually I believe will be able to help one another. Yes, it will be maybe like how people expect. But if I didn't come to America, possible, let or not, everybody's going to politics, especially in Tanzania. I studied politics. My degree is politics. What should I do? And then to talk. What do I do? And even politician, you get all the money, you get all the allowance, you don't pay tax. Will I say I don't want this money? No. Take it. But the reality, I'm going to hurt the country more. So even if I don't do much by not being out of Tanzania, I'm reducing the number of corrupt guys. Maybe I could be one. But I believe I do something good so far, influencing people to write books, influencing people to see the value of their talent. Like this girl, she is just ordinary O level, I think. But we have a book. This is what we want to see people. How you use social media in an advantage way. Because you focus more. One example, for instance, I follow some of the guys from Nigeria, for instance. They are very good comedian. Nasty, Sydney, whatever, those people from Ghana. They are very good comedian. But for me, I see they are wasting sometimes they are wasting most of the time because they don't have YouTube. And in their YouTube, they have 2 videos, for instance. Instead, people that take their YouTube videos on Instagram, they put on YouTube and they laugh at them like a reaction, and they get money for that. So why can't you, as a comedian, brand also yourself on YouTube? Because people, we are lying about YouTube. Oh, YouTube doesn't pay. People get thousands and thousands of money. Obama is getting over $45,000 per month. Is a YouTuber. That is more than the US president. So you see, like, we need to explain to people, yes, we are talking about jobs, but everybody's talking about getting employed. Have you ever talked about using YouTube as a job? Have you ever talked about business, investing on YouTube as a business? Hire people. Work on you. Go and find the content to post on my YouTube. Hire people. Instead of going into plant maize, plant cassava, and there is no rain. YouTube will be there. The content will be there. People will be watching the video. So
that's true. We lack knowledge on these kind of stuffs.
Yeah. So that's why we try here and there to share some of this kind of information. Hopefully we are going to help others. Yeah.
Wow. That's great. I really appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let me go to quick question here. Okay. Is college free in US? No. You have to pay. You can get scholarships. If you apply, you compete, you can get, but education is not free. Education is free is in Norway. There is a video I posted about studying in Norway free. There is no school fees. There's no tuition fees, whether you are a citizen or whether you are not. But in the US, it's very, very expensive. The cheapest college per year, school fees alone, international student will pay. The smallest, cheapest of all will be like 10,000. That is without apartment, food, whatever. So you're talking about 20,000 per year, maybe. How about your shopping experience?
My shopping experience.
Yeah.
I think there's
Do you use a lot of Goodwill, second-hand, or you are more into high-end, going to
Buana. Here, first of all, I'm kind of person that I'm too economist, I can say. I really like to have money with me all the time, and I really don't like to spend. So if I have something to eat, if I have something to wear, I don't find any reason to go and buy other things. But I normally buy my stuffs at Ross, yeah, and Walmart. Yeah, Ross is good. Their stuffs are they're in a good quality, by the way, and they're cheap, they're affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I cannot go to other markets, by the way. I'm not good at shopping.
It's like 5 minutes from my home. There is Ross.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's near.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What are the highest paid general labor jobs in the US? Most of the jobs, if you starting from 15, that is a good one. There are companies like Amazon. When you start, their minimum job is $15. Target, I think, is also $15.
15,000.
$15 per hour.
Okay.
Yeah, in general, you go on the pack boxes, whatever, those of that nature. But it depends. Within there, you can get maybe 20. There are some you can get 24. Maximum you get general labor is 25, but mostly like it's 15 to 22, 23. Yeah. Okay. Let me answer this one then. How to study college for free as a green card holder in the US? You don't study for free. It's either you apply, even if you have green card, you can apply for scholarship or apply for a loan.
Yeah.
If you're a green card holder, you're a US citizen, you get the loan. If you have a degree, I don't advise you to just jump and because you have green card, you start getting the loans. Just come get laid in America, because you might come here and your mindset about, oh, MBA is a good program. Yes, it's a good program in your country. Here, MBA is just a normal thing. It's not like the MBA, you get good money. No, it's normal. So there are certain things here. Are you looking just money only, or you look money? This is capitalism. They can so all those kind of things you need to. There are certain programs, they are not in your country, but they well. And you can be, maybe you enjoy, maybe you didn't think about. So, but if you come here, you experience at least 1 to 2 years. When you say you want to go to school, you have idea what you can be able to do. Okay.
Good things doesn't come easy.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have to work for them.
Okay. Another question, personal question for you now. What is the dating experience for you here?
Oh my God, that is.
My principle was when you go, for instance, in Mwanza, you have to eat the food in Mwanza. If you go to Mbeya, you have to eat beans in Mbeya. So you are in America. How is the dating experience? That's overall, first of all.
Dating experience is it vary compared to my country, because in my country there is like you have to become friends to somebody before become like dating and start to enter into a love relationship like that. But here I found that there are dating sites online in which you can find partners in there. And I haven't tried, by the way, and I don't find it like it is real. I find it like it's something that doesn't come in my head.
I'm married 10 years now.
That person you met online?
Yeah.
Wow.
None.
Really?
Doesn't matter where you meet someone. Matters after meeting, is the person real or fake?
I just used to meet people at work or maybe at school or in other different kind of events. That's where you start a relation. But here you can start a relation online, and I don't know. Maybe I can try someday.
Yeah, because in the end, you can meet someone in church. I'm giving example.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make the person a saint, because if you see I'm a good person, I'm going online, benefit of doubt, other good people are also online. You can meet online, not get inside. You can meet someone on Instagram, on Facebook. It's become friend and whatever. Also, those kind of things. But another thing, especially for a woman, I want to ask this one related to still dating. For instance, in Africa, it's very easy the way of complimenting a woman if she's beautiful. If you turn your eyes, you walk around, people turn to appreciate the creation of God. That's number one. That's number one. And two, I know you are not like other big African. In Africa, those are more marketable. Here are not marketable. So here you have to feed of majority of people. How is that experience for you?
I don't know. Maybe I did not understand your question. If you can repeat it.
Okay. In Africa, wherever you go, some men can look around, kind of appreciating way.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
People cannot look that way in most.
Yeah.
There is a kind of another way of I'm not looking more, and especially they don't look behind to look how big us have kind of that, because it's a priority here. So how does that? Is it a positive for you or negative for you? Because some people get upset. Why they don't want to look at me? Why they don't turn around? How is it for you?
Oh, it is normal, and I don't find it maybe bad to my side, because it's something that is okay to me. And whether you look at me or you don't, but I have a belief in myself that I'm this kind of a person. I'm beautiful. I'm that. So I really don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a very good attitude, because there are some people that psychologically are being affected here.
No way.
Yeah, because they use that wherever you go. Like people honk the car, but here people don't do that. It's a rude thing to do that. So
people just mind their own business, so you have to mind yours too.
Exactly. Okay. So yeah, that is a very good experience. Yeah. Okay. So let me see. Thank you so much, Kenya Movies. Okay. You are asking what is the chance of Ethiopia? Usually each year, Ethiopia, around 2,000 people are winning the green card lottery, and almost 500,000 applicants are from Ethiopia. So it's a still very competitive way. But in the end, I usually tell people, when you apply the green card lottery, each person is doing one application. So you all have equal chance, equal opportunity of winning. Top G, EBM, please, I want to know, if you did general arts in school in Ghana and you come to the US, can you do nursing or not? Because in Ghana, you can't unless you did a science school. In the US, they don't care what you studied before. In Africa, you have to study like those science, biology, whatever kind of. Yeah. Here, when you go to school, bachelor degree, for instance, the first 2 years you do most of the general. You do even if you're planning to do political science, you have to do mathematics, you have to do English, you have to do general whatever, writing, all this kind of the general classes, and then you start taking more classes of your subject, and then you choose what you want to do. So they don't care. You are admitted to go to do bachelor degree. The decision for the major you will decide on the way. Okay. You are getting greetings from Mstin TV. Mstin TV is is in Dubai right now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
He's also a
very good YouTuber.
Okay, thank you very much.
So speaking about the experience, the way we have been convincing people to start YouTube, he's one of the people who started YouTube because I've been talking people, why can't you start your own YouTube? Now he has a very good YouTube. Yeah, he has been doing YouTube over a year.
Yeah, you guys are doing a great job.
Yeah, so okay. Yeah, so I don't think if we have any other question around here. So let me, for those people who are not in the Telegram group, there is that Telegram group. Someone is asking, can you buy nationality? You can buy green card if you're a millionaire of dollars. Because if you have investment of 1 million, something like that, you start a business in the US of $1 million, you create more than 10 jobs, whatever, you are allowed to get a green card by investment, kind of that. So that is buying green card, is if you have that money. And if you have $1 million, I mean, green card is just nothing. You don't need a green card. We want a green card because we are just broke. But
yeah.
Whether I have, I don't care. I can come in US anytime I want.
Anytime.
Yeah. Okay, so for those who want to go on my, okay, I usually have a Telegram group, which now it has how many people? I used to have a WhatsApp group, but now I don't have the WhatsApp group. Now I have Telegram, which was almost 1,927 members right now. Because this one, I think it's better to have Telegram. This can go, a Telegram group can go up to 100,000 members. So that become easier in that way to have the discussion than just WhatsApp group 200 whatever, 256 whatever people. So they were all full. We had like 10 groups, all were full. So in the end, on my end, I had to be in so many groups. So, but now I say, okay, let me have just the Telegram, and it will be easy.
You have a lot of things to do, it seems.
Yeah. So this is the English channel is the one which is EBM Scholars, which we are talking right now.
Okay.
And then I have a Swahili channel, which is EBM Swahili. So that is a newer channel just for Swahili. Because I used to sometimes I can make one video in Swahili and I confuse everybody because some people don't know what language are you talking about. So okay, let me do separated the English and the Swahili. And because some of the topics like Swahili, maybe after 5 years, people get used. Okay, now we can have a channel which talk other things beyond the udaku, celebrity gossip. So that will be like a good way, like specific. Okay, let's have the channel for Swahili just for that way.
Yeah, it's good. And maybe I can advise in that Swahili channel, maybe you can have people to talk about culture, because in most of Western countries, they think like Tanzania and many African countries, their culture is like primitive. They don't have good culture, while it's not true. We really do have very good things. And I'm really proud, by the way, being an African. I'm really proud being in Tanzania. There are so good things in there, but people don't know. So it's like they do have only one side single story, and they don't know about the other one.
That's a very good point you have raised. And that's why even me, when I came to America, one of the things very early, I changed the way what kind of photos I'm posting on my Facebook. Because before coming here back in the day, nowadays you just see the photos on Google Photos, on Instagram. I mean, nowadays in Instagram, but you see most of the photos on TV, wherever. When you go to Las Vegas, you see Manhattan or wherever, like specifically, maybe Times Square, all of those nice areas, especially during the night. So you see, US is very beautiful, big, whatever. But on the other side, the pictures in Africa, they are not that great photos.
Yeah.
But I came to why is that the reason? I came to as people in America, if I'm a tourist, I'm going to Tanzania, I don't need to go to take a picture at the Holiday Hotel because Holiday Hotel is a normal hotel here in America.
Everywhere.
On the things which are interesting, I have never seen. There is a mud house over there. There are kids walking barefoot because maybe they have seen people walking barefoot. So those kind of things. So they're not doing that in negative to bash Africa. But the problem is, even myself as African, when I come here, you end up doing the same thing. You take all the nice pictures in the very nice car, in the nice building. You don't show the reality, also the normal pictures. Oh, there is a debt here. There is normal things like, but yeah. So for me, myself, I reduce it to most of the pictures I post, I might be inside. Very few times I can have the pictures I'm in the hotel, nice hotel outside, or something like. I don't want to create that narrative to continue that here everything is that nice, because if you go to New York, for instance, there are places you can find even rats.
Yeah.
So like, why don't I take those picture of the rats, or why don't I take the picture of Las Vegas during the day, which looks like in desert, like in the bad area, Las Vegas during the night. So one of the things is just, so as you said, we are cultural ambassador. The way we do ourselves, like what we post on Facebook, we might be able to create a bad narrative that everything in America, life is easy. Life, you can go there, just you see like the guys enjoying. We are not enjoying. We're washing dishes.
Yeah, people are toiling.
Yeah. Sometimes for me, we had a discussion in one of the support groups. They had the discussion that they say want to interview me, and one of the questions they asked me was, what are the good things you see or you enjoy when you come to Africa and you don't experience or you don't see them many times or very common in America? One of the things is happiness. In Africa, no matter how poor you are, it's easier to be happy.
Yeah.
Here you can have almost everything. And you can be lonely, you can be depressed, you can be upsetting all the time, because life is more individualistic in that nature. The neighbor, if you meet someone in the public transportation, oh, today's weather, oh, it's good. Yeah. It's sad.
Very sad. At home, people in the bus, they can talk, they laugh, they share stories as if they know each other, but we don't.
I don't need to know your name. I just see you in the bus. Did you see that? Oh, you start talking like people you know, and then after that, life continues. And life continues a lot. It's culture. You're outside the house all the time. You can talk to people, you can interact, you can just those other things.
Yeah.
Yes, despite people being poor, it is easier for people to talk to you, to help you. You have a child who is sick, you have something, but here, someone can say, when you have any problem, just call me. If you have any problem, try to call. Very few, they can be there for you compared in Africa.
Yeah.
Then the other thing which also Africa is very, very good at is, which is sad nowadays, in order to see like you have very good life, you have to live like Western in the sense that you started like eating burger and all this crazy food, but in the nature of fruits, natural food, we have best food.
Sure.
You see how mango expensive are here.
Sure.
And it doesn't taste anything good.
Yeah.
Purple, you just find mango, pineapples, they don't taste good, but you find like it's too bad one, $2-3. Like, really? So those are the things like when you were there, man, I was lacking. Like, why should I buy the juice from the box, Western made, when I can just have my blender here? I can just movie here or juice right now.
Yeah.
So it's just like there are so many things. That's why for me, I usually tell people, if you don't need to go and say I have to live in America, I have to live in Europe, but traveling to other regions, even in your country, traveling in your country, even within Africa, you get different perspective. Because Newton says you cannot push the car while you are inside the car. You have to be outside the car to push the car. So by being outside, it gives you a break to see your country, to see your culture, to see the opportunity and everything you have from another side. So that helps a lot. In Africa, yes, we have our own problem. There are certain things. That's why, yes, depression is there, but it's not like here. You can have people to talk to. And if you talk your problem, you can just talking soccer. You can talk something and feel better. So that's why even like people are starting to become counselors in Africa. They don't have more market.
They don't.
Here, because you don't have any person to talk to, so you have to find to the you see, like all those kind of things. So those are the things, like for me, I see in Africa we have those kind of advantages. As long as we keep them, those kind of things, and we don't try to be copying everything westernized, which is going to destroy everything, because now we try to be more westernized. We have to eat more westernized. We have all the diseases now. Like you find like a child who is less than 10 years old has a blood pressure.
Suffering from, diabetes.
Like he's having overweight. Those things were not there when we were growing up, because the food we ate was much better. We had playing in at school, playing at home. We don't use all these gadgets. So those kind of things, that's why we still need to embrace some of those ones. Even if we have a very good life, let's not copy everything which is westernized. We can take the good things from them and put in ours, and take the good things in Africa and combine them. With them, they can able to learn from us too, the good things which we have.
Yeah.
Okay, there is a question from Teresa. I have a bachelor degree in oral health. Can I get a job when I come to the US when they don't recognize it over there? Number one, degree is a degree. They recognize everywhere. But the difference will be, when you say oral health, anything related to health, like dental or whatever, those kind of things, yes, you can have that degree, but you cannot work directly without getting certification or license in the particular country. You cannot be a nurse from your country to become a nurse, come here and start to talk about your malaria thing here. No, you have to go and take the license exam here and pass, because there are certain regulations. So yes, you can get the job as long as you get the license of that state.
Yeah.
Huyu ni Mkenya anauliza swali ni Swahili. Wazazi wako wanaweza kukupeleka huko na nitaji muda upi? First of all, kukuleta US, to bring in US. I think that's what I'm assuming. So yes, your parents can bring you in US. First of all, your parents must be US citizen, because a US citizen can file for a child, even the green card holder, but it depends. If you are under the age of 21 and unmarried, there is a process. They cannot bring you, you are 30 years old, like, oh, this is my dependent. No, you're not a dependent anymore. So there is a certain age, or if you're above that, they can invite you to come here as a visitor, tourist, but not just to get a green card too. I don't see any other question. Okay. Do you have any question for me?
I really like my culture, and my question to you is, how do you share your culture here? And you have already become an American citizen. You meet Americans, and everyone tries to live as an American. How do you?
That's a very good question. When you are here, obviously, no matter how much you want to do, the American Western capitalist culture is the dominant culture, because that's where you live.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that you have to copy and paste everything. There are certain things are good. There are certain things are bad. There are certain things are good from African culture. There are certain things are bad. There are certain things are good in African culture, but are not applicable to the current situation. I can give you an example. In Tanzania, if I have a baby girl, the name could be maybe Claire Ernest Makulilo. But in America, I cannot call Claire Ernest Makulilo. A girl will have a female middle name. That's the culture. So if you have if a female has a male name in the middle, it will be every time they'll be asking that, why do you have? It will be questioning every single time you mention your name.
Does it bother you?
No, it doesn't, because that is the culture. I mean, it doesn't bother me at all. But it's just, I'm just saying, like, yeah, it's just like, it's the culture. For instance, so is Claire Francisca Makulilo, Faustina Marie. So middle name is a female name. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two is, which I like, is the middle name of the child. That's why even in the passport they say given name. The first and the middle name, you can give any name you want, and the last name is your family name. So it's not necessarily like, for me, Ernest Boniface Makulilo, Alex, my brother, all have the same middle name. All the female have the same middle name. I can give any name I want in the middle name because of the reasoning behind. That's why my son, for instance, is Benedict Fulbright Makulilo. Fulbright after Fulbright scholarship. William James Fulbright.
Yeah.
I have the reason why I give the middle name. I have the reason why I called him Benedict. I have a reason why, for instance, I called Claire and the middle name Francisca, or Faustina, why the middle name is Marie. So all these kind of things, I enjoy that aspect because I have more room to have the reasoning behind. Not necessarily I have to give the reason, the name by default. You have to have my middle name. I mean, the child middle name must be my name is Ernest. It's not a must. So
yeah, I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware about that thing. I just came to know about it just yesterday. I was talking to my sister, the one that I'm living with here, and she told me, like, here the second name is not your father's name; it's your name.
Yeah, it's your given name. So it's a name you are given, and yeah. So that is something. Okay. There are certain things how I continue my culture. First of all, like another thing. So for me, it's different. If let's say my wife could be African, it could be easier because you can do so many things African. But me, my wife is American, so the kids are both. So you can't force the kids to be everything African, and you cannot force them to be everything American.
American, yeah.
For instance, certain things have cost. So for instance, like food, I don't force them to eat every African food I cook. And them, they don't need to force me to eat any American food they make or we make. So that means that makes a little bit extra in terms of cost and how we do. So we have accepted you in that way. At home, I mean, some of them they don't, because like nowadays, the more they grow, they lose a lot of Swahili because there is only one person. I speak to them Swahili most of the time, so they understand the Swahili, for instance. Like names, there are certain, I mean, there are so many things they know about Swahili, the way of greeting, the respect, kind of that, even cooking. They know how to cook, they know how to wash dishes. There are so many things they're able to do as behavior-wise. They cannot just respond like any other spoiled brat kid. No, there is a way to respond. I know kids sometimes can be misbehave, but also the way on how I can discipline them, kind of that. They know that. And usually them, this is how it is. So if you think that this is more American, if you want, just can go and live American life and live my life. So there is a way we be having kind of a good way of harmony together, kind of that. So, yeah, so it's just like it's a combination of accepting the good things and leaving the bad things.
Yeah, that's so.
Like there are certain things. Let me give you an example. Let's say, let me give you a quick example. Like, I don't know. Like, for instance, like for me, each person has their own preference. I don't want to be called daddy. No. Because when I grow up, I'm not that old, but when I was growing up, that word connotated to people who are feeling that they have a very better, have money, have gone to international school, they have this kind of behavior. So for me, that is like daddy.
That
is for me, that is either like, so my kids call me Baba.
Oh wow!
Never, there is no daddy, never.
Wow.
So, Baba, which is my father. Or so if they talk to other people, they say my father. Or they say Baba. Whatever. Either they can say Baba, if they don't understand, they say my father. But for me, like, I don't kind of that. Like, so there are certain things like it's just in me. So my mother, I mean, even my wife, they don't call mommy or mama.
Mommy.
Mama. It's
Wow.
mama.
I like that.
Yeah. So there are certain things, yes, that is good. Like, but there are some people they enjoy, they call mommy, mom, whatever. But for me, there are certain things I see the value of being called Baba and being called Daddy. So it's just me. So there are certain things kind of that. Yeah. So like Claire, I mean, Claire knows my name, but yesterday came to realize that also my name is Ernest Makulilo. She knew that her name is Claire Makulilo, but she didn't know that also my name is Ernest Makulilo. So she discovered yesterday. So she was so excited to know that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are so it's just very interesting to keep learning, and it's a challenge. You have to keep that way. And we don't need it to force, especially when you have kids, to force everything. Because certain things our parents did, they were good, but it was 1980s or 1990s or 2000. That environment, even if you're in Tanzania, is a different environment from 2020 or 21 or 22. It's different.
Absolutely.
You cannot say, you cannot have tablet. But back in the day, I was growing up, you were easy. You can go 10 miles or whatever, 10 kilometers and go and play soccer. But you cannot just get 5 years old and go 10 kilometers, play around it. This is what is changing.
Yeah.
I mean, in the US, it will be also, even the child who is 13 years old, you cannot just walk around like 10 years old around. You'll be also going to be taken by the government. So there are certain things you have to know, like, okay, yes, they have to have tablet. The way, how can you go and make sure that the tablet is having good content? Those kind of things, yeah.
Wow, that's true.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, let me answer these few questions. Can a permanent resident apply for jobs? Yes. Means when you're a permanent resident, you can apply any job except the federal jobs. The federal government jobs, you must be a US citizen. 99.9%. You have to be a US citizen. But the rest, you can apply. Compared, for instance, students who are allowed to work 20 hours per week on campus or whatever. Green card, you can work no matter how many hours, it's just your energy. They don't care.
Yeah.
Captain Chichi said, I'm sure they enjoy calling you Baba and Mama because it's unique in a world where Daddy and Mom is so common.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
So you have to be unique in your own way.
Exactly. Yeah. So we are trying to create our own small culture. For instance, like for me, I started like all the kids, like on every birthday, they expect me to write a letter. On birthday of my wife, birthday of everybody. So there is a certain culture we have created our own. It's not American, it's not African. We just find what will be the better way. Like for instance, cooking. Like the funny part was so on birthday, for instance, like when we invite people, especially the kids and their parents for. So Marie usually like tried to bring pizza, whatever American food. So for me, I usually I do my own. I like to cook. I make my rice with the coconut milk. I make my beans. I make my kachumbari. I make barbecue mishkaki, barbecue chicken.
You're making me hungry. I'm hungry now.
When people come here, they ending up eating only African food, whatever, how I cook, and they don't eat American food. So it looks like whenever we invite people, the question is, if they want to come, is Ernest cooking?
Oh. Yeah, that's true.
Like, that is also the way, another way of how we continue to put our culture, like, so people, they know, okay, this is another food they expect or they enjoy, whatever. So all those kind of things. Even like there are there are certain family, they are also from my hometown, Kigoma, but the kids here, they're typical American kids. So their birthdays, for instance, is usually like around the same, within a month and a half. They're all three, they have birthday. One is 20, another one is like 15, 16, another one is 12, something like that. So all their birthday, what they want is they tell their parents, we want Ernest to cook for us. So that is So the parents, they have to make a budget too. We'll pay. Don't. So I have to make sure that okay, they make the list of things. Then have to cook. So when they go, they just go to. So that is something like people are looking forward to. So it's just like you spread the love in other ways. Yeah. So you have also people who are not typical American. They enjoy certain other food. They know. So whatever they have to explain. Oh, how our uncle is doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kind of that. So.
That's great. I remember I also tried to prepare somebody chips in my eye.
Yeah.
She was my friend. She's an American, and she was like, "Wow, this is so delicious." She thought it is like pizza, but it isn't pizza in real sense. Yeah, I really like it. They really like it. Oh my God.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there are smaller things, but they can have a bigger impact to others. But if you come here and you don't want, you pretend like you don't eat any African food, you don't make pilau, you don't make West African jollof, you don't make ugali, you'll end up eating like them. So what are you talking about? Whatever. So you need to have something to share with you, receive from them. We just like it's exchange.
Yeah, that's why I said that everyone needs to be in his or her own way, and people will like it that way.
Yeah. Okay. How do you guys deal with the wild animals like bobcat attacks? In which states is that common? The most common, I don't know, I can call animals, whatever attack. The most common, is the alligators, whatever, the crocodile in Florida or those southern states.
Yeah.
That is the most common. Like they can come even to your homes.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't know why Florida, because they have so much water. So you can find like a small swamp. Don't just go and jump there. I went to University of Miami one time to attend one conference. In the university, there are swamp, like they put there, and they put a sign, there are crocodiles. And you can see them, they are there. Like, so you cannot just go and you jump anywhere. Yeah, so the most common, I say, is those crocodile alligators, whatever, in Miami, in Florida. Other animals might be, I don't know if they have those like really attacks. Maybe the states like Montana, those states they have really hunting, like they might have other big animals. Yeah.
Okay.
We have been here 2 hours, so let's finish these 2 questions.
Okay.
Yeah. Fikov TV, EBM, I want a scholarship. So the easy way, there are 2 ways I can help you. One, go to my YouTube, and on the top, there is a playlist. If you click a playlist, there is a place written scholarships in Europe and America, and there is scholarships in Europe. Go and watch some of the videos on those kind of areas. Or if you to my channel, like among the first 10 videos, there is 1 video, 2 videos. One, it says 5 questions you need to ask yourself before you apply for scholarship. It give you the guide, what you need to have, just overall, those kind of things. And another things, if you go to this website, ebmscholarships.com, usually there I post scholarships on that website. And I started this website when it was like a blog when I was in second year at the university.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah. Okay. The other question, as a green card holder, is there anything that can prevent you from getting the nationality? No. If you're a green card holder and you are here for 5 years, you are allowed to be a citizen if you want. It's just your choice. You fill the form, you take the test, obviously, the citizenship test, which civics question, like who mentioned the 3 branches of the government, who is the president, who is the vice president, which war is that. So there are 100 questions. You have to read those 100 questions. They ask you 10 questions. You have to get 6 out of 10 of those questions. And then there is the English test, which you write a sentence, or they write a sentence, then you read. It's a simple, easy test. If you pass that one, you are good to go to become a US citizen. For me, I became a citizen after when I joined the military.
Getting married?
No, I got
joining the military.
So when I joined the military, I became citizen when I was in the US military.
Okay.
There is a big difference when you have the passport of this with the ego and the passport of other countries. First of all, when we got married, we went to Tanzania with my wife. So we were traveling, going through Zurich, going to Tanzania. I don't know, it was 12, 15 hours layover in Zurich. So can you go out wherever? So they told, where do you want to go? I want to go out to the town. This American citizen can go. Other citizens cannot go. Like, because if you're Tanzanian, you can disappear over there anytime.
Yeah. Very true.
So this is bad. I had to stay. Like, we had to stay. Okay. But after having a US passport, there is a very different. So I remember one time I was traveling through Amsterdam. So there was something, I don't know what was going on. There are some police, they're standing with their gun. It was at the airport. They can ask a question, but when they ask the question, they don't ask everyone. They can just suspect or look at you and then ask you. So they ask you. For me, when I'm traveling, sometimes I wear flip-flop because it's easier to go. I have socks and wear the flip-flop. It's easier when I'm at the get into the plane, like the security. And if I reach in another country, I can throw them away, and then it's easy. So they stopped me and say, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to Tanzania." You have travel documents. I showed the ticket, the passport. Then I showed. They didn't open. They see the ego. Say, "Yeah, oh, sorry, sir. Thank you."
Wow.
Man.
But it's not right. A person can be an American and they can be
the same guy. Just what really changes is just this document. Like, I'm sure
they're assuming that this person might not have any problem because of the passport, because of where you're coming from. That's not
even like I was in London one time. If you want, I was going to say I was having a few hours. Should I go out? Say, it says in English. If you want to, you can stamp. You can go out because. But if I'm not, you have to go show the bank statement, show everything. Like, but now, they say, but I'm the same guy. Like, what changed? It's just I'm the same guy with my own accent. So, problem. I remember another time. I remember I went for work, I think, and then I took vacation. I took leave while I was in Tanzania. So I was at that time. I was at the University of Dar es Salaam. I was visiting there. So while we are there, so there are just like 4 or 5 white people. They were there. So they were sitting together on the at the cafeteria.
Cafeteria.
The administration cafeteria. So usually there is a tendency when they meet among themselves, especially the students who are exchange students, each one they want to show how they are big in terms of their country. I'm from Germany, I'm from Finland, wherever everybody wants to show off. So we're talking, so everyone was introducing, so whenever they talk like they're just like, I'm from this country, whatever. So I said, okay, basically I'm not Tanzanian. I'm American, right? So what we are talking, okay, so I said, I'm a US citizen. I'm from you. At that time I was from California, I think. So I said, I'm from California. But how do you know Swahili? Yeah, I was here one time, so I studied here too. So it changed the tone because you cannot tell me you are from, I'm giving example, you are country, I'm giving example. Let's say when they talk, it's big country, even in Europe, there is German. You can't say I'm from Sweden being a big, I'm from California. So what else? So the problem is nowadays, like, which I don't like that way. Passport is just a document. We are still human beings. This supposed to make the difference, like where should you go to the airport, or when even one time at the airport in Tanzania, that was so bad. I went there, I showed you the passport, I didn't talk anything. So someone was see my passport, come here in the front, took me to the front on the line where there are so many people from all other countries, like, but mostly they're European. They say, this is so bad, like, why are you putting me in the front because of my passport?
They're giving priorities.
But this is not good. But I mean, I mean, for them,
it is not good. It is not good, and I really hate it. I don't like it because they don't practice equality in their own country. Like, you have to give anyone the thing that they deserve. Don't just put someone in front because of maybe being an American or being coming from a certain big country.
it's so
No,
bad.
they're not human.
You feel like this is embarrassing. Like, what? Sometimes you can be caught in. I mean, like, a caught off guard. What should you react? Like, how does it see me? Because if I'm the one there, I'm upset.
Exactly. Yeah.
But now you caught off guard. We come here, but you didn't tell me the reason why. I told my ticket is not first class. I said, don't worry, you are American.
Oh, no.
It was. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense, because we have to be human, and we need to treat everyone equal.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Do you get your citizenship immediately you join the military? Yes. You get it on almost the 6th week, because, for instance, in the Navy is 8-week training. So the 3rd week you take the test. We take, in my case, we take the test on the 3rd week. The 1st week, they tell the people who want to become a citizen, we put our names, they gave us the materials to read, to start studying. The 3rd week, we went to take the test. Then the 6th week, we just took the oath and we got our certificate. We became the citizen on the 6th week. And we don't pay the fee for anything. Yeah. Because when you do the test, you don't do any paperwork, they just give you the certificate. The only difference is the picture, because you are there is no any passport photo you get. You get the passport photo while you are wearing the military uniform. So, so there is no like a normal photo I'm wearing the tie or something. Yeah, so. Okay, so I would like to say, first of all, thank you so much for spending all these hours with me today. I hope other people who will be able to get some of these videos, they will be able to learn something. And we can find another time we can do the Swahili version for the Swahili channel.
No problem.
And maybe one day when you come here, we'll be in my office live from here.
Sure. Yeah, and I really appreciate, by the way, this is I've ever do any kind of interview live. This is my first time, and it's a good experience. I feel like, wow, I'm talking. I feel so good, so nice. So,
and this is something
I do like sharing.
Yeah, I like for you also. Like, when we finish, when I stop the call, behind the scene, I will explain to you a few things. But I want many people to use these tools, especially teachers. You can have guest speakers. You can interview guest speaker in the class. Like, if you're from Tanzania, you're in Ghana, you want to interview someone, you can. This will be another good tool of bringing someone on board. Like, okay, you have, for instance, now you have so many friends. You can bring your professor. Can you say something like this? People want to hear American accent. Bring a real American. Talk to my students. Ask some few things. Like, they can mock interviews. Someone can bring. Okay, you can put your laptop there. Talk to this guy for 2 hours. Like, so all these kind of are the tools we can be able to use for many people to benefit. Yeah,
I'm growing, I'm learning. These are good things, so I like to get more of it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
To you.
Okay, yeah, so thank you everyone who has been able to follow us live here. We'll be in touch again another time to be live again.
Asante
sana.